Hi everyone, Kelly here. Welcome to my channel Animal Instinct. You can also find me on Instagram at Animal Stitches. Thanks for stopping by. Today is Sunday, April the 12th, 2020. Happy Easter. And I'm here for my 11th stitchy update. If you've come by before, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, I hope you enjoy what I've got to share today. I've got a big range of stuff to go through. I hope you're all doing well in these troubled times. Won't go into it too much. Get bombarded on the news everywhere. Can't really escape it at the moment. So let's just delve into the world of cross stitch. I came up with a term, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's thought of this, but I'm procrastinating. I have a uni exam coming up in about a week. And I've found myself being very productive in the crafting world when maybe I should be doing some study, but oh well, that's all right. Today I've actually got an FFO to share with you, and that's pretty rare for me. I don't finish things off very often. I've also got a couple of finished objects, and then whips. I've got haul. I've got an online oopsie mistake purchase. That you might have a laugh about. I've dyed my first fabric and done a bit of a stash dive yesterday looking for said fabric and found some things that I'd forgotten about, and then finally I'll go through my plans. So firstly, I think last video I mentioned I'd just started the Ingleside Imaginarium stitch along. Brittany posted a little animal every day for 12 days. If you're interested in stitching this, you can go and join her Facebook group, Ingleside Imaginarium Share Your Work, and it's a free stitch along. All the patterns are in there. So I actually finished the stitching, and not only did I finish it, I turned it into an project bag. So I'm pretty happy that I've actually, number one, finished something, and number two, like made it into something I can actually use. So I'll pop a photo in of the final stitching, I guess. She picked a different animal every day for 12 days. There's 2 animals from each of the continents except for Antarctica. Sorry, we have a cat on the table. She's not supposed to be there. See how this goes. Okay, so this is my fully finished object. I've just made it into a little project bag. I wanted to use just stuff from my stash. I did not want to buy anything extra. So I framed the stitching just with some charcoal, just plain fabric, and then I had this pretty blue and black and gold metallic stuff, which I've put on the back. And then I had some strips of Ada left over. I stupidly started this in the middle of the piece of fabric I had. Sorry, I just need to move the cat. Off you go. And they were kind of too small to do anything with, so I just decided to put them as the top panel here. You can sort of see it's a hand-dyed, sorry, really distracted by the cat. There's going to be a big crash in a minute, I think. It is hand-dyed. It's sort of a mottly silvery grey. And then I just, you know, I'm still learning, but I'm having fun. I have lined it. It's already in use. There's a project in there. No, you can't eat the stand, Jemima. Go away. Go away. Good girl. Off you go. Sorry. But close up of the stitching. So I stayed true to the pattern. So we started with the text, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And then we got a different animal each day. She just suggested using a black and a red, so I just went with that. Black is DMC 310 and the red is a Silks for You. And then I also just added the common name of the animals in small backstitch. mainly because I'm not super familiar with some of them. So if I just go around, we've got, oh, it's a bit wobbly, sorry. We've got the moose, North America, the Iberian lynx from Europe, the South American toucan, the Australian koala, the European ibex, the Asian tiger, African elephant, North American coyote, the Australian red-tailed black cockatoo, yeah, that's right, Asian panda, South American llama, and finally the African lion. And I've nicknamed my lion Stretch because I made a mistake and he's a little bit wider than he was supposed to be. I stitched, the fabric is 18 count Jodie Ree Designs Pixie Potions. It was a fabric of the month in her club last year or the year before. I'm not sure if it's a regular one that you can buy, but it's really pretty light Ada. So FFO, how about that? Amazing. Then I've had 2 finished objects that I have, yeah, both of these I have started since I last spoke and finished. What? She's being a rat bag today, aren't you? So these are they've both new releases, been released as part of the Be Well and Stitch movement on Instagram. So lots of designers are releasing small little patterns just to keep us all occupied and connected during this time, which I think is just a wonderful idea. So I have stitched a couple already, and I'm thinking I might keep stitching a few more and put them into like a little quilt, maybe just like a memory sort of piece. If you haven't watched before, I'm actually studying epidemics and emergency disease management from an animal disease point of view, but you know, it's all relevant. So it's of great interest to me. So the first one is so I'm basically just using stuff in my stash. So I've gone through, I've found various pieces of fabric, and I'm not necessarily using the recommended floss colours and stuff, just what I've got. I don't want to buy stuff, although I do have haul later. So, but here is a little finish. This is called Just Stitch by Arlene Cohen, so works by ABC. Really enjoyable little stitch. So I bought a little bag of scrap fabric from Jay's X Stitch. Actually, I got a couple of bags, and there's just little offcuts of fabric in there, which is fantastic for this sort of thing. And I just grabbed it, and I wasn't actually sure if it was going to fit, but it turned out it fit perfectly. So it's all silks for, yeah, it's all silks for you. Floss, and the fabric, I didn't count it, but I think it's a 36 count linen, and it's kind of a yellowy, mustardy colour, so I imagine it's probably maybe turmeric or mustard dyed, because Jay uses natural products to dye her fabrics. And I just popped the designer name down the bottom too. I think I will try and incorporate that too if I'm going to put them all into one piece together. It'll be good to remember like whose designs they are. So that came together really quickly, really enjoyably. Once I got into the swing of those crosses in the middle, the black work was, yeah, easy. Yes, so my first finish. The next one was a real joy to stitch as well. So the next one is called The Key by Barbara Anna Designs, and she released also The Light. which is like a companion piece, I guess. I'll probably will stitch that too at some point, but I can't believe I started this and finished it. So here is the key. It's stitched on another Jodie Ree Designs fabric of the month called Green Dragon. It's also 18 count. It's DMC, mostly called for with a few substitutions when I didn't have a colour. And it's I think it's a goose holding a key. It's just so random. I don't normally stitch on such bright, leery fabric, but I'm glad I took the gamble because it's turned out really well. So the key. Still thinking about how I'll stitch the light, but I'm sure I'll get to that at some point. Okay, what's next? Just coffee time. The other thing that the cat was interested in on the table was I was going to share, just because we all could do with a bit of colour and brightness. My African violets have gone crazy. I received these as a gift, birthday gift, about 14 months ago, and for 12 months it was just green leaves. And then I took them into work. I gave them one feed of African violet food, and look at them, really interesting colour. It's a bit darker than that. I have to keep them out of reach of the cat though, because she eats plants. So normally they're locked away. Oh, she's back, watch out. Anyway, so now onto whips. I've worked on, as well as the finishes, I've worked on 6 whips in the last couple of weeks. So firstly, Mermaid's Folly by Courtney Collection. I'm stitching it on 40 count murky linen by Picture This Plus, and I'm using DMC 3371. I've done a little bit more since I last saw you. Whoa, the fabric just almost ended up in my coffee. I would have not been very happy. The fabric is huge, so I'm just trying to get it into a more manageable size. Okay, so that's what I've done. So you can see the breasts of the mermaid, and then I'm coming over here to the left. You can see there's like a floral sort of motif. And this is like, this turn is where her like tail starts as well. Really, really enjoy stitching that one. Okay, next up is my temperature tree. So this is by The Stitching Mummy. You can find the pattern on Etsy, and it's like a template, a tree with all the leaves. Each leaf represents one day of the year, and you colour it into the scheme of your choice. I'm using her hot climate range, and I'm up to date. Like I'm a week behind because today's Sunday, and Sunday nights is when I fill in my week, so I'll do that tonight. It's coming along really well though. So stitched on 32 count linen. Not sure like who dyed it or anything. It was a freebie as part of our stash bag at the Mittagong retreat last year. Now the first 2 branches are supposed to be our summer. Our summer really should have more pinks and oranges. Very odd climate, but anyway, it's kind of all over the place, but coming along really nicely. And I've put in an extra branch. I want to be at least 1 month ahead with the branches. I don't want to get to the start of the month and not have a branch to work on. So yeah, I really enjoy just filling that in. I've just gotten into a routine now. Every Sunday evening I'll just go and go to the Bureau of Meteorology website and note down the maximum temperatures in the last week and stitch them. Doesn't take long at all. Okay, next up is, I meant to go back and look at my last video, but I forgot. But in my new project bag, I think I've started this since I last saw you. I think I had this, did I have the pattern? Anyway, doesn't really matter. This is the Scarlet House Seeking Refuge. And I've made a small start on it. I'm using, so it calls for, let's see if I can see it quickly. Yeah, it calls for a selection of Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts and Classic Colourworks. I don't really have many of those in my stash and I didn't really want to buy them. So I've made a really, really interesting mix of different types of threads. So I've got DMC, Anchor, a cotton, what are they called? Colour and Cotton thread that I received as a gift with a fabric purchase. I have 1 Week's Dye Works and even some Silks for You. So it's a real hodgepodge, but I've just got them all in here. I'm stitching it on 40 count Wren by Picture This Plus. And oh, that needle minder is right in the wrong spot. There we go. It's very pretty. I really like it. Really enjoyable to stitch on. I haven't done so many of the patterns with the little individual motifs. And it's a nice little chunk to sort of try and achieve at a time. Okay, next up, slightly disappointed with myself for this one. This one is the Woodland Sow by Woodland Stitch Along by Lakeside Needlecraft. You can find the pattern on their website, lakesideneedlecraft.co.uk. Every month for 12 months. They release a really cute little creature, woodland creature designed by Doreen Jones. And so you get it at the start of the month, and normally by every single month except for this month I would have this month's creature done by now. I'm going to put a photo in of where it was looking by the time I finished last month. If you remember, it was the mice that I had a little bit of a problem with, and I kind of smashed them out in one day just because I wanted them to be over. This month is otters, very cute. I'll pop a photo in, but I mean, this isn't even worth showing. That's all I've done. The little brown blob under the frog there. So hopefully next video I'll have that done. It's on a 32 count even weave in their woodland colourway, also purchased from Lakeside Needlecraft. But really, like, there's otters, then there's only 2 animals left, so I can't let this fall behind. So that one is a little bit disappointing. Next one is not disappointing at all. This one is My Bee by Lorna Lane and Gecko Rouge. I have a goal now. I have a clear goal in mind for this one. I want to finish this before May. I'd like to do Mania, and I don't want this to be part of Mania. So I'll pop a photo in of where it was a couple of weeks ago. I think then I had around 5,000 stitches to go. This is where it is now. I've moved the Q-snap for the last time. And I have just over 2,000 stitches left. You can probably see there's a lot of just like little dots. There's a lot of filling in. So it's got 89 colours altogether, I think it is. And I've completed 20 of them. So I've still got 69 colours to fill in that spot. So it's actually quite slow going, but I'm pretty motivated to get this one done. I'm not going to take it off the Q-snap today. I've decided I'm not going to take it off until we're done. There's like a little, see there's little blobby bits just on the edges. I think there's 2 blobby bits like in the top left corner that I need to do. But yeah, I'm really close. So end of April is my goal to actually have this as a finish. So very happy with that. So I'm just, what I'm doing is I'm picking the symbol, like of the unstitched symbols, like the highest one, pick that one, and then I'll colour complete it. And then I'll come back up and find the next highest one and I'll colour complete it. I can see where parking makes sense for something like this, where you don't end up with all these little bits to fill in at the end. But my brain just doesn't really work that way. I've tried parking and yeah, I just don't seem to be able to stick with it. I always go back to this style, which is sort of how I learnt. So B must be finished. Hopefully, if I film again in 2 weeks, I might have a finish. I've worked out I need to do 113 stitches a day to meet my goal. I mentioned I have an exam in a week, so I think there'll be some days where I don't touch it, and then some days hopefully where I can put in a mammoth effort, because yeah, I'll still have like 8 days after my exam to get it done by the end of the month. I should be able to do that, right? I do keep getting distracted by shiny things, so. Oh, this is my one and only Starbucks mug. Kansas City. I visited Kansas City a couple of years ago. I have one more whip. And I have to laugh when I show you this one. This is another one of the Be Well and Stitch freebies. This is a freebie by Joan Elliott. I've previously said I'm not into fairies, and I'm not. But she released like a teeny little fairy, and I thought, why not? If I'm ever going to stitch a fairy, it would be a teeny tiny one. So I'll pop a photo up of the design. It's available, as far as I know, in her website, Facebook group, Joan Elliott. Just look up Joan Elliott and find a group on Facebook, and it's in there as a freebie. I'm stitching it on 18 count Picture This Plus Ada in Da Vinci, which is a really nice colour, although the Ada is very soft. It's It's almost a bit hard to work with. Like I can't get it nice and taut on my Q-snap. But it's a pretty colour, so it's okay. I don't have all the called for colours, so I'm just using what I've got. And there she is. So I still have to do the wings, and she's holding a big bunch of flowers and there's a little border around her. But doesn't she look cool on that fabric? There's no way I was going to attempt 1/1 skin because I'm on Aida, so it doesn't really work. Yeah, probably my one and only fairy. But yeah, I haven't actually seen, I don't think I've seen many people show this Aida, but it's really pretty. Okay, so that's all my whips. Next haul. There's been a little bit of stress purchasing in my life the last 2 weeks. I saw, I think it's a Nashville release from this year, I'm not really sure. I can't remember who was showing it either, but it's the Lucy Beam I Will Cut You new pattern. And I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, I really want that. I want to stitch that. So I got it. This one. And it's actually funny, someone in my team at work, so we're all working from home, we're all adjusting to having to communicate like this all the time. I'm used to it because I work in a different city to my team, but not all of them are used to it. And someone in the team was giving me a bit of stick about my cross-stitch interest, and I said, hey, watch yourself, this is the next one I'm going to do, and I shared it, and the whole team thought it was brilliant. And it's become like our little unofficial logo. Well, we've got like a chat group thing happening, and it's this picture is the logo, so they're all embracing it. And actually, that reminds me, someone in my team actually said, oh, can you help me find a pattern? I want to learn to cross stitch. So yes, getting through to people. I don't normally get the over-dyed threads, but I just decided to. So I have them as well. And then actually wasn't sure what to stitch it on. And I had this piece of 20 count, I think it's the Ghana, really sure, that I bought ages ago, and it wasn't really the colour I thought it was going to be. It was a bit too pink for my liking. So I decided to try coffee and tea dyeing it. I've never done it before, and you know, I had this bright idea at 10 o'clock last night. Why not? But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And like that. So yeah, come out pretty well. So I think I'm going to stitch it on that. As for like the technique I used, I wanted to try Bonna's tutorial. I saw her mention it recently on a Flosstube, but couldn't find it on her website. I think it might have disappeared. But I watched Priscilla and Chelsea's Flosstube tutorial. That was really good, so just followed that. So yes, and you know, as we know, no pattern can travel alone. So I'm not really sure why I haven't taken notice of these before. But I got some of the Stacey Nash Primitives animal crackers. So I have Theodore. And I think he's holding a thimble in that little satchel. So cute. And I got the threads to go with it. I got Humphrey. Humphrey, I can't show you because the threads are in the way, but Humphrey's got a little pocket on his backside to hold scissors, which is fantastic. And then one more, I got Peroi. I'm not sure how you pronounce him. The slug. So cool. And again, I got threads to go with it. His little bow tie. That was just really clever. And then I also got some, I'm not sure if I'll stitch these on this fabric, but I just got some anyway. It's R&R Stars Hollow Blend. It's 32 count linen. So that is that. What else? Oh, so I bought the patterns and the fabric on Motifs by Hand on Etsy in Canberra. And then I ended up getting the threads from the floss from the Cruel Goblin, and they were out of a few of them, but they I let them substitute in alternatives that they had, you know, in a different brand, and I thought they did a really good job, so thank you very much. Oh, my oopsie mistake. This is crazy. So I wanted to buy some US like snacks and stuff just for a change, and there's some supplies you can buy online and they'll ship it to you, and they're located in Australia. And I obviously wasn't paying attention to the amount. I thought I'd get some red vines, which I thought I'd tried when I was over there and quite liked, and I thought I was getting like a little bag like that. But when the stuff arrived, I didn't get that much stuff. It was quite a large box and I was a bit sort of confused. And I've had maybe a mistake in my conversion, because we think metric here, and I don't know, but I didn't get a bag. I got 5 pounds of red vines. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I've already shared some with my brother, but I'm not really seeing anyone, so at the moment I figure they probably last like forever. I'm sure there's plenty of preservatives in there. What on earth am I going to do with 1 million red vines? Anyway, that was just really funny. I laughed a lot. How are we going for time? Okay, so when I knew that I had that fabric that I didn't love and I wanted to dye somewhere in my stash last night, and went through, and while I was looking for it, I found a few things that I'd forgotten about, so I thought may as well just share them here. So I found this one. My mum bought me this when she went to just going to remind myself of which country. Wales. Memories of Wales. And I don't know how to even pronounce it. Beaumaris Castle. So I think she might have visited, but I honestly don't know. Is that a place you can visit? Or did she just find a little shop and buy it for me? I'm not really sure. So it's a whole kit, comes with everything, and I can't really remember starting this, but I've made a start. Like a quite decent start, really. There's even a needle still in it. Oh God. Okay. So I'll probably finish that sometime. Maybe give it back to her if she went and visited the place. I've never been to Wales. Yeah. So a rediscovered whip. And then another rediscovered whip. And I can't quite place when I started this. I'm not sure, but it's the Thea Governor I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I wonder if there's an English. Hang on, sorry. The pattern is amazing. It's one massive piece of paper. I'll show it quickly because you're not going to be able to copy it. Like, that's the pattern. But it's pansies, I guess. Anyway, I should not have opened that, sorry. Stay. And I have made a really good start. I have a feeling that there's a mistake in it, a fairly considerable mistake. I have this vague recollection, but oh, it's a bit crumpled. It's on a linen, I think it's probably 32 count linen, maybe 28. Stitching 1/2, and I've done quite a bit. I remember that I started in the middle and then worked my way over to the side, and I wanted to go back, and I have a feeling somewhere in here there's a mistake. I'm not sure. It's quite pretty. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. I'd completely forgotten about it. That one, and then also found this one. So this is fascinating. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork's by, excuse my croakiness, Irina Gamashova. I'll pop a photo in. I snapped a photo of my cat. I couldn't quite get her looking up, but it's very similar to my cat, Jemima, and it doesn't have a background. It's quite large though. I'm not really sure if I'll stitch this, but I obviously went to the effort of, I laminated the front cover, and I've got the, you know, the chart, the symbols on the back. And I have this, I think it's 20 count Ada. I think if I stitch this, I will not stitch it on this fabric. It's like a blue. Obviously like started gridding it, but it's an opal, but it's sprayed on, so it's not on the back, it's only on the front. You can even I can't really remember doing this, but I tacked the edges down because I didn't have a sewing machine at that point, clearly. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I would stitch it on this. Who knows? But it does look very much like Jemima. And then last of all, I rediscovered this one. This is Glendon Place. Hungarian folk art #1. Haven't seen anyone stitch this, I don't think. It's quite a pretty little pattern. And I actually bought it when I was in Texas, and I got it it's completely kitted up, like fabric, floss. It's even got beading needles and the nylon thread for the beading as well as the beads. I kind of feel like I should do that. It's not a huge design either. It's 119 by 99. I think that's very doable. So I feel like that should probably go into the rotation at some point. I think that's everything. So plans. I've never done Stitch Mania before. I'm going to give it a go. Why not? I'm going to do a whip mania where I'll work on a different whip every day. When I last counted, I didn't quite have 31 whips, but I reckon I can easily make it into 31. So my reasoning is that hopefully I will have had that big finish. My bee should be done by May, and then I'll be looking at which of my whips I want to really focus on, like moving forward, I guess. So that'll be a great way to touch everything. I know I won't get much progress on anything, but I'll touch everything and I'll figure out what I'd like to focus on moving into June, I guess. So what I'm planning on doing is coming back in 2 weeks. I'll be done with my exams, yes. And I'm going to do a whip parade. So yeah, 31 whips I'm planning on having. So I'll do a pre-Mania whip parade. And then I was thinking I might do a weekly video during Mania if I can keep it up, just to go through the stuff I work on each week. So we'll see how we go. I'm really hoping I can stick with it. I don't see why I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm actually quite excited. It was nice to go through and have a look at what's going to be on the list. I've got the Tiny Decisions app, so I'll just I'll pop them all into that, and then we'll just see which one comes up each day, so it'll be completely random. So I think that's everything. Stay well, stay home, wash your hands, and happy stitching. See you next time.